You knew the opponent, but I know you also wanted to build some momentum with your defense, and I think you sure feel like you did.
Well, I hope so. The thing I was most pleased about is that I didn't think we had a great week. We had some good days, but we didn't have a great week of preparation. I think, the kids were a little bit emotionally drained from Florida. And of course, we emphasized that they were playing a team that could beat them if we didn't prepare well and play well, and they could have. So the thing I was most pleased is that we came out and played really well early and did some great things. Disappointed in the way we finished the game and the fact that number one, I thought we didn't play extremely alert, but then when we put some players on the field who need to be able to help us in some critical situations, second teamers and some other guys, didn't play very well. And, don't want that to slow us down, if you will, in what you're asking. We need to be going forward. Like we told them at halftime, either we get better in the next 30 minutes or we go backwards. And I don't know if we got better or not, but that was the only thing that was a little concerning.
Ellis, not so much for this game, but for the next two, how big was it to get 2 defensive touchdowns and kind of get some confidence flowing in that department?
Well, we've steadily improved a little bit in turnovers over the past 4 weeks, but I think those kind of things probably light a little spark in players. Sometimes you preach things and you talk about things and you keep looking for things to happen until it happens, then a player doesn't have anything to relate to. So now they've seen some turnovers go for touchdowns. Now we've seen some things happen like that. And it just, it's human nature. It causes them to look for more and think they can cause more. And I hope that will continue. But I thought the turnovers were very good. Obviously scoring on defense is good. But the biggest thing early in the game is they could not run the football. And we were able to play some things that maximized our pass defense, both pressure and coverage. And that's where most of the turnovers came from.
Ellis, what happened to Stephon and how is he?
He got hit in the head. I don't think it's very serious at all. I don't talk too much about it because I don't know. But we sort of took a very precautious, safe approach. There were some other players that were pulled off the field at different times, just trying to cut the number of reps. When we felt like we were going to win the ball game, you get less concerned about statistics and more concerned about make sure the next 2 ball games you got everybody you need. We didn't want anybody on the field that was going to be critical to us the next 2 weeks, unless we were putting people out there who just couldn't function. And that happened a little bit in the second half, and we had to put some guys back out there. But back to your question, I think he's fine. He may miss a day of practice or so, but he's not serious.
Last year, I believe you gave a pretty passionate speech to the team prior to the Clemson game about the importance of the game. Do you think the way this team's playing now, do you think you have to get that same type of speech, or do you think this team has a better mindset going into that game?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of, when I did it, I was just kind of speaking from the heart. Growing up in South Carolina, I just love the state of South Carolina football. All colleges and universities, high schools, and everything else. I wanted our kids to understand how special the rivalry is to our Gamecock nation. Although these 2 schools have split up and gone separate ways in conference ties and other ways, it's caused us not to recruit as many kids in head-to-head battles that it went on 30 years ago. And I think that sapped the rivalry a little bit in some ways. Our players couldn't relate to it because their players really never visited us and our players never really visited Clemson. And you'd be surprised how few players are on our roster and their roster who boiled their decision down to Clemson, Carolina. 30 years ago, I bet 85% of the rosters came down to picking between Carolina and Clemson. So I think that and some other things have sort of sapped the rivalry. And I know what the importance is to the Gamecock nation and to all of our supporters. And that's all I was trying to get our players to understand. A lot of those guys may not have understood how important it is to the people who come and sit in the stands and cheer for them, the people who pay for the scholarships, and the people who, laugh with them and cry with them as the season goes on. So I just tried to get them to understand how special this rivalry is that's coming up, and hopefully it made a difference. I don't know. Even whether we play well or don't play well, or we beat them, we don't beat them, I want them to understand how important it is to the University of South Carolina that we play well against Clemson.
Coach, Troy came into the game averaging almost 300 yards passing. You held them to 183. Last week against Florida, you did a good job against the pass. Is this a sign of the competition, or is it progress?
I know there's some progress. I'm not gonna say we've got all our problems solved. A lot of times, your performance has a lot to do with what you do. It also has a lot to do with who you're competing against. And we haven't seen Ryan Mallett the last 2 weeks, and I don't see him again anytime soon. But, I don't know. There's no question we've made some progress. Coach made it a point of emphasis. He's tweaked the practice schedule, and every day he asks us, do we still want to do pass scale against each other? And our answer is yes. I hope it's making them better because it's obviously helping us. We were getting very little out of working our pass defense against our scout team. And those 10 minutes or 12 minutes or 15 minutes a day we've been spending over the last 4 or 5 weeks have definitely helped us in the perimeter. The other thing that's gotten better, I think we've obviously pressured the quarterback better. Even in the early part of the season, sometimes statistically we were up there in sacks, but I don't know if we were pressuring quarterbacks. And we're doing that better. So there's a mixture of things there. I'm not about to step out and say that we're a great pass defense right now. I think that we certainly have improved.